المشاهدين، أهلا وسهلا بكم من جديد مع برنامجكم الأسبوعي برنامج إماراتي. كما عودناكم كل أسبوع نستضيف لكم خيرة من دولة الإمارات قصة نجاح أتتنا إلى الدولة منذ عام 1999. Mr. Salman, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We are so lucky to be here with you in your company. Our team said to you, welcome in our program.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to your program.
And we would like to know about yourself. Who's Mr. Salman when he came to this country at the first time and what he's doing at this moment?
My name is Salman Zaidi, as you say. I am now 74 years old, and I came to UAE in 1999. My business I started. I was coming before, but I started business in 1999. Actually, I did my electrical engineering in India, and I was working in a corporate company for 20 years. Then I started business in 1991. So as a new person to business from my family were all educationists. They were professors in the university. Nobody in my family had done business. So I was the first one to start the business. But then we were doing business with many countries as an export house in Delhi. Mm-hmm. And we were also dealing business in marble with the UAE for about 2 or 3 years prior to 1999. During my visits here, I found that this has a very welcoming environment for businesses. It has the ease of doing business is a lot. It has a good system of rules and regulations, safety, and other things which are, which attract people to come and invest in this country. It's open to investors. So I had about $1 million dirhams to invest, which I thought if I succeed, it's very good. Or I'll start a business here. Not succeed, I will lose the money. I was prepared to lose it because it's a tough market. That I understood one day I came. Well, we started in marble and granite and all natural stones. It was a little tough in the beginning, quite tough actually. But I found out during my course here that if you are surviving in the market, maybe 1 or 2 years, then you overcome the hurdles, you overcome the initial problems, you have been able to survive and still stay here, then probably you can succeed. So I was saying, let me give 2 years to this business and see how it is. But I started off by investing made a factory in Al-Quds to start with in year 2000, and started in a relatively small way, but mainly in projects. I had the option to do trading, but trading somehow it was a very overcrowded field. It was better to provide a full service to the customers here.
Well, including installation, huh?
Yeah, it was a full service. It means that we sit we identify the clients, we sit with the designers, we sit with the consultants, we choose the material, then we make a design for them, we make drawings for that, engineering drawings, and then we get material approvals. All these things are even prior to before we even supply a single piece. And then once this is done, you import the material. Normally we are importing it. Sometimes we buy locally from the traders, but most of the time we are importing it. So when we import this, then we are providing, we have a factory where we're doing the cutting and the polishing and molding and all those things which are in the factory. Then we do a layout for the clients to see the material, how it will look on the floor there. If they want to change any piece, they can do it. Then it is delivered to the site, and then we have a full team of people at the sites. They are supervisors, they are installers. So at the moment, we now have about 60 people in the company. Out of that, apart from the factory, which is about 10 people, we have the balance are workers, about 45 people are in the sites. and we have a labor camp in Al Quds. So they are installers. The whole work there is supervised. Every site is supervised by a supervisor. We have at any point of time maybe 8 or 10 buildings going on. So that's the work we do. As far as our clients are concerned, well, throughout the years we were involved in a lot of MR projects. Meadows, springs, Arabian ranches, greens, and then we were also involved in Nakheel projects like Al Furjan, like Jumeirah Park, and other places. We also had led a lot of hotels here, villas, Emirate Hills, Palm Jumeirah, Jumeirah Bay, Dubai Hills. These are all, we have done too much projects. So I've seen Dubai grow from a very small, city into what it is today. It's unbelievable. When I first saw the plans which were there, I went to an MR sales office, and they had a plan of how the Dubai Marina will look after 10 or 15 years. I couldn't believe it. I said, this doesn't seem realistic, doesn't seem possible. But they did it, and they did it beautifully and more. So it is, hats off to Dubai. As Dubai has grown, our business also has grown, and we are really thankful for the opportunity we got, and we were able to survive.
Talk about 2000 until 2008, the market was hungry for construction, hungry for contractors, hungry for all materials, because it was booming time.
Yes.
But after that, we are talking about 2008, 2009, the crisis came and changed many things in this life. Did it affected you or your company?
Oh yes, of course, as affected everybody. See, in 2000, when I came, the climate was not that good for construction, I must tell you. It all started in 2002 or 2001. By the time we had completed 2 years. We are lucky that we came in at that time, so we were able to survive that time. So we were ready for when the boom came. And then it was good going. As I told you, all these projects, MR and Dubai was being built. So we had business, and we were, I think then of course the slump came. It did affect us for some point of time, but the real bad effect came, of course, during COVID.
COVID affected you?
Yeah, that affected us. That affected our finances. But fortunately, we saw to it that we did not reduce any salaries or we sent anybody off, because we value our employees. We don't want them, even if we are making a loss, we want to retain them, because it takes a lot of effort to train and have good employees, and they are the strength of the company.
These employees that you are take care of, we are talking about the father of the company,
yes,
and the family of you or in the business.
Yes.
So how you build the relation with them, Mr. Salman?
Well, you see, a lot of people have been with me for 20 years and more. Some core people, and the thing is that they must feel that there is somebody who is taking care of them. At the same time, he is also watching them. He is making sure that they are following the procedures. So you have to be where it is strict, but where you need to take care of them, you have to take care. But you have to demand quality from them, quality work. That is important.
When we talk about natural stones, we are talking about many sources in the world.
Yes.
So you have a special source to work with, or you work with all kinds of stones?
We work with all kinds of stone. There's marble, granite, quartzite, limestone, slates, even artificial marble. So we are sourcing from almost all over the world. I would say, let's say Turkey, Europe, Saudi Arabia, even China sometimes, India, and even Pakistan marble, Iran marble. These are all areas where there is, quality marble.
When we talk about marble and we talk about something beautiful, we need to take care about the finishing. When they are fixing the finishing item or the product that we are using, it should be something very nice to make the product completely the design that we are think about. So how did you choose your raw materials with the finishing?
Yeah, see, the raw materials, selection of raw materials has to be good. It has to be top class. As a project people, we cannot deal with commercial material. There are a lot of commercial, and also we are always try to concentrate on good projects, higher end projects, and where there's insistence on quality, because that's the most important thing. So first of all, the good sourcing of raw materials. Secondly, correct type of processing and also making sure that before the client. Before we are supplying to the site, they are coming and seeing a dry layout here of the marble.
And here you are making the cutting and everything, so we bring the stone, it's completely, and we make the design here.
Yes.
We have all the machines.
Yes, we have the machine there.
What kind of cutting machine? You have watering machine?
Or? We have water cutting machine, automatic, and we have also manual machines. We have polishing machines. And we have also some machines which we had, but we sold them off. But we are going to buy new ones now for the new factory, inshallah.
The first person,
like a water jet machine. Yeah.
The first one who going through the business, Mr. Salman, with Zaidi family, right?
Yeah.
And all Zaidi family, so they are the first one who go through the business. The second generation is your son, the one who handling the company now,
inshallah.
Right? So what he's doing, or what is your son part in this?
No. You see, I have 3 sons, but the elder 2 are in professions. They are not. They live abroad, and they are doing well. But they didn't want to come in this field of business.
Great.
My 3rd son, the youngest one, he is with me for the last 10 years. He is now 32 years old, and he has been. I've been training him, and inshallah, he is now quite well trained. He knows all the business very well, better than me sometimes.
And you can now take rest in the home. Your son,
I never go anywhere. I just sit here. I am looking after the financing. I am looking after what is happening in the factory. Some issues with licensing and so. I mean, all the other issues, administration, but the business and the handling the customers, seeing the sites. It's now my son and his team of other people, engineers.
Mr. Salman, when you ask us or ask yourself why we are choose you, we are talking about the top companies in UAE. So you are one of the top. So how did you sustainable with your passion or with your field here in this country during this challenge in the market? So how did you prove yourself in this market?
You mean during the recent time, or
yes, during your business life here?
Yeah, well, as I said, first of all, you have to do the work honestly. You have to see that the quality is maintained. You have to fulfill your promises. This is important here in this market.
Mr. Salman, who support you in your life? Who's the person who affect your life and give you all the advices or guide you somehow?
Well, frankly, no one.
Nobody.
No one. Yeah. I mean, I can say I'm self-taught.
Great. So now for the future, what you plan for the future? Where is your vision go?
See, we are. I mean, in our future, we want to get into more decoration items. We want to get into more, better kinds of marble, higher end marbles. I mean, we have to be in the same field. We are not planning to diversify and go into other fields. Maybe my son at some point of time may decide, but we have no such plans at the moment.
So when we talk about the newcomers coming to this country as
Yeah.
the employees or the investors, so what your first advice you give for them before they come here?
See, before they come here, number one, they must study the market. Number two, they have to be able to, as I said, lose money. You need money to survive. You can't just, expect that you'll come and then, if the money is not there, you have to close down the business. That position should never come. So you have to plan everything and see that how you are going to do. It's all the homework that you do before you start anything. That goes for all sphere of life.
Finally, Mr. Salman, when we talk about this country, we are talking about the country which have more than 200 different nationalities and peace and safe country.
Yes.
The country which starts from His Highness Sheikh Zaid, the first step, and son of Zaid, they make UAE number one in the world.
Yeah.
So what we will say for the leaders and governments for all this opportunity that they give it to us.
I like to say really thanks to the leadership of this country. It has been very supportive of all businesses and in general of all nationalities who have come here. They have provided a very good framework of regulations, rules, and ease of doing business. The efficiency of this all organs of the government is really very good. I would say that it's an exemplary country for business, exemplary country for welcoming foreigners and other nationalities to do business here, live here, and invest their money here. And it is a very, I'm really thankful for His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid for their support and their vision for this country. And I really hope, and I'm sure that this vision will make this country go forward and be one of the leading countries in the world.
And from our side, Mr. Salman, we will say to you, thank you so much for spending your time with our team, and welcome again our program. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
في كل إمارة تروح تسندك عقل وروح بر ومدن وجبال حاجة ترد.
And now we are meeting the second generation of independent marble. Mr. Zain, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
We are so lucky to be here with you. We just contact with your father and we know about all the history of this company. Let's first starting with Zain. Who's Zain?
Well, I'm the youngest of my three brothers. And, for me, it was not just the ability to work with my father that attracted me to this business, but also that I got to stay in Dubai. My older brothers, they moved out. One went to America, one went to the UK, but I wanted to live here. And my father built a really great business, something that involves a lot of person-to-person activity and also a lot of creativity, hard work. It's never a boring day here. I feel like I learned more in my first 2 years of working with my father than I did in all my years in university, doing MBA, my undergrad business, and all of that.
So, Mr. Zain, when we talk about marble, it's something natural, it will never change, we cannot update it or upgrade it.
Exactly.
But the design, always we can change it. So
Yes.
what's the marble going for industry? Where the marble we can find it? Only in decoration or some else areas?
Well, that's the beauty of modern technology. People, like you said, it's a natural product, so what can we really do? But there's amazing technological developments happening in marble, from the way you can cut it to the way you can shape it. You can have three-dimensional designs now, you can have natural textured designs. And at the same time, it's something that it's such a classic element of a villa, of a hotel. It speaks such volumes, it speaks such class and quality that it'll never truly go out of style.
We go through the workshop and we see how they are cutting and the laser machine with during water and cutting. So all this technology is happening. But when we talk about the 3D that you mentioned it, I would like to ask you is there money waste if we will make this 3D, or there is technology that we can cut without lose anything from this big rock?
Well, the thing is, when you are sculpting to a certain customized design, it's very rare that you can do it without wasting anything, because you know, when you might find something that's the right size, but it's not the right color. But the right color is not the right size. So you have to compromise somewhere, because at the end of the day, like you said, we're dealing with a natural product. But there are wonderful things people are doing to use the wastage. You know, we not just, for example, in our company, I don't know if I should say this, it's proprietary technology. We use the grout and the wastages of the stone. We use the powder to make the grout to seal them. So when you see a surface with the honed finish, it doesn't look like anything is in the joints, because we're using the actual stones in the joints.
Great.
Giving it a better color, a better finish.
When we go to the artificial side of stones or granite or even marble, so is there any effect or difference between it and natural, or only the design it will give it to us?
It's just the design, really. And I mean, if you use artificial, the problem is no matter how good they develop, because that side is also coming up a lot. So as you can see here, this is an artificial stone. We do get a lot of inquiries for it, because this here, you have your natural stone. Now the blue color in the natural stone is very rare, very expensive, so they don't always want to pay. So this is an artificial substitute. The artificial section is, you can clearly tell just by looking at the two, one is fake, one is natural. And you can see the consistency, the way the reflection even comes off of the stone, all of these things. So the artificial section will always act as a substitute for the natural stones, the selection. Whether it's an area where, you know, for example, natural stone will not thrive. Certain white marbles don't do well in sunlight. Certain limestones don't do well in heavy foot traffic areas. But, you know, designers like the color, they like the feel. In that way, an artificial tile is an acceptable substitute. But it will always remain artificial.
The sources, when we talk about granite or Italian marble, we are talking about Oman marble now. Because we are here in Middle East, so we will talk about the Gulf a little bit.
Yes.
Oman marble start going to the industry too much this time.
Yeah, for a long time. I mean, I remember when I started in 2013, sorry, Omani beige marble was the most popular stone.
Yes.
Like every contractor of ours, like if it wasn't for the flooring, at least for the bathroom thresholds, windowsills, something, because it's such a light, cream, beautiful stone. And because there was such a high demand of it, you know, the quarry was used up quite a bit. So now you're getting a little inconsistent colors, because we've used so much of it already.
I will add something about the difference between artificial and natural, the energy that's given to the person inside the house.
Absolutely.
So we talk about energy, we're talking about the future, but we didn't talk about your vision. Where you see your factory after?
Well, the one thing I see for us is, you know, personally speaking, I want this to be what my father provided it for me as growing up. You know, it was a great business, something we can all be proud of, something that provides for our family, for my family in the future. But where I see the company going, honestly, I want us to be the name in luxury stone fixation. Because I see us, the amount of experience we have, how we differ from the competition is that everybody, you know, my father is a very honorable and respectful person. So even our employees, they're here for 15 years, 20 years. So we have stonemasons who learned, and they all their life work here and only stay here and become expert masons. And these expert masons they are the only capable of doing high-end, big pieces, using the specific marbles, using marbles that damage easily. They're able to do it. So my goal is to people to recognize what my father has built, and, you know, to see what it can get to.
Also, when we talk about the granite and marble, we're talking about the granite a little bit that we would like it in the kitchen, because when you use it, so when you glue it together, you will not see this line.
Yeah.
So did you fix this problem with the marble? That's the line.
Yes. So how we started doing it is basically we only buy the marble that fits the kitchen counter. So I go out of my way to procure extra large sizes, or I go to the quarry or my supplier directly and say, you know, I need a piece at least 3 meters, 4 meters long, so I can fit as a counter.
But we cannot glue it to.
With granite, you will always see the joint. What you won't see the joint in is limestone and marble. But for kitchen, it's not always recommended. So what we do is put quartz now. Quartz is the latest because quartz is a gorgeous crystalline property. It's very hard, very durable. It doesn't change in color. And because it's like has a marble texture, you can make the joints almost zero. And with the crystal reflection, you hardly see it. It looks beautiful.
And what about finishing materials? What you will use?
Well, so again, finishing materials, we stick to the standard. We have our waterproof, we have our sealers, and then also we do a polyurethane polish, which gives it that shine, that reflection, and it protects it from staining. Because the biggest problem is, sometimes children will drop some food or some coffee, or a lot of the joints get discolored. We don't want, our mission is we give a 10-year guarantee, but we never want to hear from the client again. So we make sure that all the pre-staining, the sealer work, and the polyurethane polish is an absolute must. It's always included. Most people charge separately for that because sometimes there are companies that just do polishing and marble protection and marble sealing. That's their specialty. That's all they do. But everything is done in-house.
What about the old houses when we talk about they want to polish it or clean it again?
Yeah.
What's the solution that you have?
Well, that's what I said. That's why a lot of these companies exist who specialize in just cleaning and repolishing. But if the marble is done right in the beginning, that doesn't need to be.
So you don't do this polishing?
We do offer, because like you said, a lot of the projects we're getting right now actually are refurbishments. So people are buying villas in like Emirates Hills, in Dubai Hills, and not Dubai Hills, sorry, Palm Jumeirah, and they are redoing the floor, they're redoing maybe from the old, and some areas they're like, okay, the marble looks good, but it needs some touch-up. And that we have touch-up. We have deep cleaners. We use, we have this very small handheld saw, which can only be used by our expert masons, like whose hands are dead straight. And that saw, he uses to cut a very fine line in the existing joints, and then we add our special grout that we make from the marble that I was telling you about.
I have your business card, and you mentioned that you are a project manager. So it means that you are not sitting in the office, you are always out.
Exactly.
So why the son is not choosing to be in the office? That it's better under AC?
Well, it's not about choosing to be in the office or not. You see, my father and I, there's two elements to a good business. It's customer service and financial accounting, right? If your financial accounting is not good, the customer service will suffer. If your customer service is not good, the financials will suffer. So that is why we decided as a partnership that, my father is here in the office. He makes sure that our finances are correct, no payments are delayed, no vendors are unpaid, all our checks are clearing, our accounts is everything stable. So I can put full focus on customer satisfaction, service, quality insurance, and making sure that our customers know that just because we take a project doesn't mean the son of the boss will never be seen again. He has to be there because it's my project now.
But when you are in the site, we are talking about many contractors, subcontractor, MEP companies, so there is many people there. So always there is some delays or something.
Of course.
How you manage this thing?
I mean, that's another beauty of the job, it keeps the blood pumping because you're working with 15, 20 people in one, it's like 20 chefs in one kitchen trying to make one dish. So there's a lot of argument, there's a lot of heated discussion, but it adds to the fuel, it adds to the fire. It means that people are passionate. So coordination is very key, and that's why, he's not here unfortunately now because he's doing his job. We have a planning engineer, and his entire job is to coordinate with all the subcontractors, all the contractors, clients, make sure that the email trail is locked in, everything is done right.
We will ending our interview with the words from your side to your father. It's your camera, you can say whatever you want for your father.
For my father, well, I call him Abba. Abba, you have always been a hero to me, a role model, and someone I always looked up to and wished I could be like. Working with you these last 10 years, every time I meet somebody who they think I look like you, they always tell me, your father is a great man, he's a very honorable man, he's a very respectful man. And if I can be even 10% like you, I know I will have lived a good life. And I promise to make you proud and make this business into what it can be in the future.
And he's proud of you for sure.
I hope so. I will make him more proud.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
في كل إمارة تروح تسندك عقل وروح بر ومدن وجبال حاجة